Welcome to SciTech Culture with Steve Kern and Ben Warner, where we examine science, technology and culture in the 21st century. Visit our website at scitechculture.com. Hello and welcome to SciTech Culture, the show where we discuss science, technology and culture in its myriad of forms. My name's Ben Warner and I'm joined by my good friend, colleague and fellow co-host Steve Kern. How are we today, Steve?
Good, thanks, Ben. Hello, SciTech Culture fans. We've got another action-packed episode today, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. So just following up from one of our recent episodes about social media fraudsters or potential fraudsters, we obviously spoke about Belle, Gibson and the whole Pantry recently, but there was another one that's come up now, the food babe. Blogger Vani Hari has been called out for making pseudoscientific claims in an article written by California-based scientist Yvette Dentremont, I believe that's the way you pronounce it. What's interesting about this, apart from it's obviously there's a tie-in here with this overall concept of someone presenting themselves online as being obviously genuine and offering advice to people that could potentially shape and change their lives in the way they approach it, in this case with health. And someone's called them out on it. And in this particular case, basically this Yvette Dentremont basically said in a 2,600 word article, she called the food babe out on her aversion to chemicals, arguing that her campaign against Subway for putting I won't pronounce it here. Maybe you can a bit later. A chemical into their food that and it had no scientific basis. And as she said, as the science-minded among us understand, a substance can be used for more than one thing perfectly safely, and it doesn't mean that your bread is made of a yoga mat if it happens to contain a certain chemical. So, that's actually a good point. So that leads to a certain the irresponsible nature of claiming something that is supposedly unhealthy when it may not be.
Look, it just goes to the fact that you can claim anything you like, and on the internet, anyone can come across it. And unfortunately, there's nothing's checked on the internet. I mean, even Wikipedia at times has got errors, and that's probably the most. That's probably the best you can hope for on the internet, is that there's a Wikipedia listing about whatever topic it is. But this is a huge problem. These problems have existed for hundreds of years before the internet, in terms of people making wild claims, selling snake oil, the newest product that's going to help you do this, that, the other, make you smarter, thinner, better looking, etc., etc.
Yeah.
These claims are made all the time, especially around diet and personal image. I mean, at the moment now, there are other people out there claiming stem cell technologies to make your skin look good. I can assure anyone out there who's watching that is not a technology that is currently available. They're just claiming that, and it's just a same old cream.
Yeah.
You might buy for $5 instead of $50 down at the shops. But these claims are there. And then you have people who say, oh, this chemical, and I can't remember what the name is, Ben, otherwise I would pronounce it for you. But, you come up with something that sounds incredibly chemical. For instance, monosodium glutamate. Doesn't sound good, sounds dangerous, but really it's not dangerous at all. And, that's the problem.
Okay, I'm going to give it a go now. Carbonamide, I think it's called.
Carbonamide, yeah.
So, sorry?
So, look, it sounds like a terrible chemical, but, if you break down what's in a tomato, I mean, tomatoes have got salicylic acid in them. Yeah. It doesn't sound very good, but, it's part of the tomato. And originally, tomatoes, before they were bred by humans, were generally toxic to humans. So there's still toxic compounds in tomatoes. There's toxic compounds in coffee, in the beans. You just don't get enough of them. And, if it's natural coffee and single origin or whatever, tastes great, makes me look more clever or more energetic. People see what they want to see, they pick and they choose, and when they get the science wrong, what's dangerous is not only that they're misleading people in their cause and might be profiting from that, it's the fact they're causing misinformation, and that misinformation if it permeates through the community, can lead to some very, very dangerous views.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to say before we moved on slightly from this that this one is a little bit different to me than the whole Pantry, in the sense that just from the way it's marketed with the title, the Food Babe, and we were talking about previous Adelaide-based ones, Banana Girl or Bikini Babe and all this, and they're very catchy. They're things that will instantly they're clickbait, in the sense that people, as soon as they see it, they're going to click on it because they're going to see something that they see because obviously health is a big interest for a lot of people, and it's and for a lot more people these days, especially now that we've got all these gadgets tracking everything that we're doing, and
we're so self-obsessed. So the clickbait is you see someone that looks like you want to look.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's where the danger lies. That they seem to be quite skilled at the marketing side of it as well, to just have that right pitch to get it, and it can be quite dangerous. And it's just a shame that they didn't put their evil powers to better use in that sense. Promoting a more positive and genuine message.
Well, that's right, and what happens is exactly as you're saying, Ben, they're creating clickbait for people who see what they want to see in those posts. And then what people don't realise is that, very often these good-looking people with great bodies are genetic. Yeah. They might not have to do very much at all. You're talking the 1 or 2 percenters. It's like supermodels. Only 1 or 2% of the population could ever be a supermodel because of the way their bodies are. Yeah. These people have already got it. And then they're convincing you that by eating 100 bananas a day, or by, whatever they've got in their pantry, or the food that they eat is somehow related to how they look. And, the sad truth for all of us ordinary people is you can eat like that for 100 years and you're never going to look like them.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether you put chemicals in, take chemicals out, whether you hang upside down at night, whether you rub something that's called stem cell cream, which isn't stem cell cream, into your face, it's not going to make a lick of difference. Yeah.
And just finally...
Sorry to cheer you all up out there.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we can give you a bit of a positive message now, or not. We're not sure. Just as a side note, we came across another story this week about fasting diets, a little bit in relation to this. It was an ABC article. The idea that you eat normally for, say, 5 days of the week, and then maybe 2 days of the week you fast and don't eat much at all, and seeing if that actually works. And just in what this article was saying, that may work for some people, it may not work for all people. And if nothing else, regardless of whether it's valid or not, or whether it works for people, at least the way they wrote that, they said, look, it may work, it may not work, you can try it, and there wasn't any sort of pretense that, this will work, which is what a lot of these fraudsters seem to be doing.
Well, we've covered this topic actually in Fist Chat a couple of years ago, and it's interesting. We've followed diets and fad diets a lot. It is interesting. Look, the 5 and 2, the idea of leading close to a starvation diet, which is probably really genetically what we should be doing still, even in modern age. Great ideas. The reality is just eat less. Just eat less and be as active as you can. And, if you don't quite look the way someone else looks on the internet, don't feel bad about it. Just be a good, happy, honest person.
That's why we're all different. That's why we're all unique. Isn't that right?
That's right. I mean, we all want to be fit, and we should be fit and healthy, and we should be careful about what we eat, and we should try to eat good food and less processed food. There's no question about that. But we shouldn't also just be obsessed by it to the point that we believe things about food that just aren't true.
That's right. Exactly right. And that's a good point to finish up on. So thanks again for that, Steve.
Anytime. But, if you're one of the 1 or 2 percenters out there who looks great no matter what you eat, and you eat 100 bananas a day or something, why don't you, I don't know, tag us or contact us here at SciTech Culture. We'd love to hear more of your side of the story.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so don't forget our website, scitechculture.com. You can get all of our links there. Don't forget to subscribe to us, particularly our audio and video channels. They're all there in our blogs. You can interact with us on Twitter, Google+, and Facebook, so I'd love to hear from you there. We've got so many videos online that I don't think anyone can think that we're fraudsters at any rate. Would be called up well before that. We really are just two guys talking about stuff we're interested in, so there you go. And if you think anyone's interested in those discussions, then recommend anyone to visit the website. We'd greatly appreciate that. All right, so that's it for this episode. We'll catch you next time.